All right, we've got Jesus' Garden of Gethsemane experience according to the Gospel of Matthew. It says, "Then cometh Jesus with them into a place called Gethsemane." That literally means the olive press. And that's where olives were pressed until their oil came out. Jesus' spirit was about to be pressed and crushed as he enters into his sin bearing before he goes to the cross. Keep in mind that he was crushed for our iniquities. So he's going through this Gethsemane experience for us. But notice he saith unto his disciples, "Sit ye here while I go and pray yonder." And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death." Jesus had never said anything like this before. These were new emotions for Jesus in his divine and human nature. He'd never experienced this before. It was all very foreign to him, probably intimidating and scary. And I want you to know that you may face similar situations where you feel all alone, intimidated, and scared. And Jesus knows exactly what that's like. You know, he had his divine nature that he could call upon on any time to help him out, but he didn't. He relied completely on the Father, setting a pattern for us. For it says in the book of Hebrews, he was made in all points like as we are, yet without sin. He said, "Tarry ye here and watch with me." And he went on a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt." Notice, this is the beginning of when he's having the sins of the earth laid upon him, and he has this uncertainty, like, "Father, if there's another way, please show me, because I will gladly take that if possible." I want to have you recall his last words when he was on the cross. He said, "Father, my God, why have you forsaken me?" He felt forsaken by God at the end. And here at the beginning, he's asking for a way out, but he's submitting to the Father's will. We know when he died with his head bowed, submitted to his Father. And it continues, "And he cometh unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep again, and saith unto Peter, What, could ye not watch with me 1 hour? These were his closest friends. And in the hour of his deepest trial and anguish, they are all forsaking him. They're sleeping. Maybe you felt abandoned and alone. Well, Jesus carried that stress and all the sins that result from that stress through carrying a life of abandonment. Jesus is bearing that for you right now in this passage. And by going through that experience, as you have, it says that he was tempted just like as we are. He said, "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Meaning his disciples were going to be tempted to forsake him, and forsake him they did, except for John. "And he went away the second time, and prayed again, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. And he came again and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy." It was very late at night, and Jesus had laid some pretty heavy stuff down at the Last Supper that same evening, so they were probably pretty tired. One gospel says they were sleeping because of sorrow, but maybe they were focusing on their own sorrow rather than Jesus' sorrows. And again he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then cometh he to his disciples, and saith unto them, Sleep on now, and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doth betray me. And of course Judas was waiting outside the garden with a band of soldiers, chief priests, and elders, about to perform an illegal trial upon Jesus, because according to the rules of Sanhedrin, you could not try a person based on their own testimony. There had to be witnesses that were credible, and you also couldn't have a trial in the dark. So they were violating their own rules in this upcoming trial. But I want us to focus on here how Jesus was left all alone. His best friends had forsaken him. They had let him down in the hour of trial. Jesus is feeling an anguish he'd never felt before, and it was actually the anguish of the world's sins, which includes mine and yours. And that should bring from us the deepest gratitude, but also the most solidarity and comfort, knowing that the Son of God actually went through the same experiences and temptations that we did. And because he was victorious through relying on the Father, so can we be.